Good evening and welcome to Yes to You. Tonight we're going to be talking about bad habits. We're going to be talking about how you've been conditioned to think the way you think. And we're going to be talking about how you can have the tools to change your life, doom and gloom, sorrow and anger, to happiness and enlightenment. Wow. I forgot to bring my magic wand with me tonight, so we're going to have to do this by conscious thinking. Okay. So I want to thank you for being here at the show. As we've been going through these programs for the past year now, we've been talking about a thing called pain body. Pain body is truly like having an entity living in the back of your head. It is raw emotion needing more raw emotion. And what I found interesting in my studies through these years of life coaching is that pain body can activate another person's pain body. So when someone is angry or upset or disappointed, that conversation that they're having with the other person ignites that person's pain body, and they too also can become depressed, upset, disappointed, whatever it is, by your pain body. Now, we also talk about this in our coaching program, that it's called a vibration, that we all operate and function with a vibration. And a lot of us are on a high vibration, and a lot of us are on a low vibration. And you'll hear the term, that guy gives off bad vibes. Well, it's not a coincidence that they use the word vibes. It's a vibration, a bad vibration. It's produced by the entity, the pain body. Now let me explain a little bit about how our brain works, how the subconscious mind works. Number one is you're programmed from your childhood by your parents to be who you are. And neuroscience and psychology says that from 1 to 7 pretty much determines your personality, who you're going to be by the time you're an adult, from 1 to 7. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? One of the things that I find interesting about the brain is that it's just like a computer, and it holds data and programs. And the reason the subconscious mind does this is so that it's a learning process. Now, in the learning process, as you go to school and you study and you get A's or B's, in my case D's, you learn. And this program goes into your brain, and you know later when someone asks a question about something you've studied, you're aware of what the answer is. So the brain stores all these answers to questions. But many times, the answers that we've put in our brain were caused by pain body, were caused by trauma, were caused by an emotion. Now, an emotion is sort of a deep imprinted program, a deep imprinted data, and it remembers something quicker because your body was shot through neopeptides or adrenaline. And so it's a big alarm system that goes off. The burglar alarm system goes off, warning, 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 because it's happened before. Now, you know what I'm talking about because you've had experiences in the past that have caused you to have emotion. And then when you think about the emotion again, you still have the same feeling. And that would be being upset, crying, or being really pissed off at someone and want to strike them, full of anger. I find it really interesting how some people on, like on news, and they're interviewing the neighbor, and the neighbor says, you know, after a guy or a woman or a man has killed one of their partners, they say, "That was the nicest person. He never had a problem with temper. We don't understand this." The reason they don't understand, it's perfectly clear. This person suppressed emotion for so long. And finally the pain body pushed the button, and he blew up. And when he blew up, his brain, his conscious part of his brain shut down. And he was flooded with adrenaline and neopeptides, and he was another person. He wasn't that sane, conscious person. He was an insane, unconscious person. So let me tell you how the programs work. So we get all these programs in our head: what's right, what's wrong. We have morals. We have our race, our religion. All these things that determine how we think, and also determine who we are. So now my theory is that you're a spiritual conscious person. We're not here on this planet to experience spirituality. We are spiritual. We're here to experience this physical realm. We are so caught up with everything that's going on around us that we have not got time to see who we are, what we're doing. A lot of the questions that people ask me when I'm coaching them is, what am I here for? What's my purpose? The purpose of life is a life of purpose. It's about knowing who you are, having value for yourself, loving yourself. Now that's a tough one because most people are not trained or programmed. Yes, you're all programmed to like themselves. Okay? That's being with ego. And I say that's a crock of malarkey. You need to have a relationship with yourself. If you don't have a relationship with yourself, if you don't like yourself, if you don't love yourself, what do you have to offer another human being? The empty shell that you are, the empty shell that you have. But I want to tell you that you're not alone. Okay? If you think you're alone, then you're alone. But you're really not alone. There are people that care about you. I'm one of them. I care that you are a conscious thinking human being. I get experiences. I'll share an experience this last week. I'm coaching a person that is so phenomenal, an older woman, and she has so much to offer. She's phenomenal. She's brought my level of energy. We talked about how energy is lower and higher. She's brought my energy up to a high level. And she's excited me about what I do, about being a life coach. It's exciting to be a life coach, being able to help somebody that gets it. Okay? Now, I coach a lot of people over the last few years, 5 years now in coaching. And people don't always get it. And one of my problems is I think to myself, why can't they get this? What is the problem? Why is there such a struggle to understand how to recognize the pain body? Why is there such a struggle just to say, hey, I'm awesome. Hey, I like me. Hey, why is that so hard? Well, the reason it's hard is because we are conditioned. We are programmed. We are brainwashed to think the way we think. Now, it's not just our parents' fault. It's not just our schooling or our church or anything like that. It's just over time the subconscious mind has learned to run the show. Einstein said we only think with 10% of our conscious mind. And the problem is the subconscious mind is processing with 90% of the rest of the data. It's a very powerful program. And in with that subconscious mind, when it really thinks it's helping you, it's allowing things like your ego to mess you up, and pain body, the biggest enemy and the problem.